So welcome back to the channel if you're coming back, and welcome if it's your first time. So lately we keep hearing of people getting karma because of what they might have done to you, and how no matter what they did, God always has the upper hand in the way they are handled. And today we are diving into a story from ancient history that still has a lot to teach us in the modern world. We are going to talk about the fall of Babylon. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Babylon, what does that have to do with me today? But trust me, these ancient empires' rise and fall hold lessons we can all learn from. And so far, the last 2 weeks have been really hectic, and probably you might have been physically as well as mentally exhausted. And for some of you, maybe you might not have been feeling like you are getting to your guides, or you seem not to be able to feel them in any way, especially the ones who have empathetic kinds of gifts. So this thing might also be sort of kind of making you feel doubts about any kind of justice which is going to be given to you because of what has happened to you from some people or a group of people who came for you. But justice is always given through God. God always brings justice anytime. And we can see some which is being given, some of them are looking as if they're getting away with it, but it's not like that. They're not getting away with anything. By the way, don't give a thought to the sounds in the background. My kids are playing on their own. Anyway, so Babylon was one of the greatest cities of the ancient world. It was a hub of culture, power, and wealth. At its peak, the city was breathtaking, with its legendary hanging gardens, impressive walls, and massive temples. But just like every great empire, it didn't last forever. The story of Babylon's downfall is recorded in the Bible, but it's also been studied by historians for centuries. It's a tale of pride, excess, and ultimately a loss of vision. So what exactly happened to Babylon? Well, in the Bible, particularly in the book of Daniel, we learn that the king at the time, Belshazzar, threw a lavish banquet. The city was surrounded by the Persian army, but Belshazzar was so sure of Babylon's invincibility that he partied as though nothing could threaten his kingdom. While his feast was going on, something bizarre happened. A hand appeared and wrote a mysterious message on the wall. Mene mene tekel upharsin, or is it? The words roughly translate to "you have been weighed, measured, and found wanting." The message was a divine warning that Babylon's time was up. That very night, the Persians breached the walls and took control of the city. The once mighty empire collapsed almost overnight. Now, I know this sounds like something from a historical drama or an epic story, but there are real life lessons we can pull from this. So let's break it down. Lesson number 1: the dangers of overconfidence. Belshazzar's downfall wasn't just about the military threat outside the gates. It was about his complacency inside the walls. He thought he was untouchable, like nothing could ever go wrong. But here's the thing: no empire, no business, and no person is invincible. In today's world, this overconfidence can show up in many ways: ignoring problems, being blind to your weaknesses, or assuming that success will last forever without putting in the effort to adapt, to change. I mean, look at some of the world's biggest companies that once ruled the market. Blockbuster, Kodak, and even BlackBerry. They all fell because they didn't anticipate the changes coming, or they assumed they had the upper hand for good. Overconfidence is a killer. The moment we stop evolving, adapting, and listening is the moment we start heading toward our own downfall. Let's all remember that. So in your case, for example, the people who have been coming for you, they've been acting too much overconfident for so long, maybe even years, thinking nothing can touch them. But now, since last year, they're starting to feel the karma which is catching up with them. So there is no way they are invincible in any way, and there is no way they are going to get away with whatever they have done to you, whatever case. So next up, the price of pride and excess. Babylon was a city of unimaginable wealth, but it was also a city of excess. The lavish parties, the constant pursuit of more, and the flaunting of riches, it all became a distraction from what really mattered. And in today's world, it's easy to get caught up in the pursuit of success, money, or status, and forget about humility and balance. We live in a culture that often celebrates the more mentality. Bigger houses, faster cars, more followers. But just like Babylon, this can lead to a hollow life. There is nothing wrong with enjoying success, but when it becomes about showing off or losing touch with what truly matters, family, values, kindness, that's when the foundation starts to crumble. And we see those examples in all the news that we are watching today. We should ask ourselves, are we focusing on the right things? Are we so obsessed with wealth and fame that we are neglecting the things that truly make us whole? Babylon's pride and excess was ultimately its undoing. And we see that even for the people who are coming after you, they thought they could steal from you. And then they can use whatever they're stealing from you, and they are still trying to steal from you. They're thinking they will never get caught, but one by one, they are being caught because they've been watched for a long time. They are being watched. Some of them who have not been caught are being watched for a long time. And those who have been caught had been watched for a long time. So justice is always served. And finally, the fall of Babylon reminds us of the importance of accountability. Belshazzar ignored the warnings. He parted through the storm, thinking he could outrun his consequences. But just like any great empire, there are always consequences for our actions. And in today's world, we see leaders, corporations, and individuals who ignore ethics, thinking they can dodge the consequences. But the truth is, sooner or later, those consequences catch up. Whether it's through a loss of trust, a financial crash, or a tarnished reputation, we can't escape the laws of accountability. It's a reminder that we all have a responsibility to make decisions that align with integrity and honesty. We can't live in a way that harms others without eventually paying the price. Accountability isn't just a moral principle. That's a confirmation. It's a way of keeping ourselves grounded. So, what can we take away from the fall of Babylon? First, that overconfidence can blind us to the truth. Second, that pride and excess can lead us to forget the things that really matter. And third, that no one is above accountability. So we better make our choices wisely. And I think if we apply these lessons today, we might be able to avoid the same pitfalls that led to the fall of one of the world's greatest empires. We might not have walls of stone or riches of gold, but we do have our own cities, our careers, our relationships, and our lives. Let's make sure we are building them with purpose and humility. So this is the message we had today, to be precise, because most of us are feeling as if justice is not being served in a way, but no, that's not true, because behind the scenes there are things happening which we don't know, which we don't see with our physical eyes. And justice is definitely being served. So don't worry about whatever which has been done to you, and don't think they're getting away with it in any way, because they will pay for each and every action they did against you. So thanks for watching. I hope this related to your own life, and I would encourage you to think deeply and personally about your own lives and what direction you are going to. And I pray to God that we are all directed to the right path always. Amen. So until next time, take care of yourselves and take care of each other as well. And with much love, God bless.